Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are diving deep into one of the most fascinating stories in gaming right now. It's about the absolutely massive comeback of a 20-year-old game and the serious crisis that's brewing just under the surface.
So, it all kicks off with this huge migration. We're talking thousands of players, and I mean some of the biggest streamers on the planet, all ditching modern online games and flocking to Old School RuneScape, or OSRS as everyone calls it.
And this isn't just a little trend, you know. The game's player count has pretty much doubled, hitting all-time record highs. The community is even calling it a new platinum age for the game. It's wild.
So, that brings us to the big question, right? Why? Why now? What on earth is pulling so many people into a game that, let's be honest, looks like it's straight out of 2007?
Well, it really boils down to this one core difference that players like the streamer Asmongold talk about all the time: permanence. See, in most modern games, you're on this hamster wheel. Your amazing gear is worthless the second a new expansion drops. But in OSRS, every single thing you achieve is a permanent brick in the foundation of your character. It matters forever. And that idea of permanence brings us right to the absolute heart of the old school RuneScape experience: the grind. But here's the twist. Unlike in other games where the grind is a chore to get to the fun part, in OSRS, the grind is the fun part. Every level you gain, every cool item you get, every quest you finish, it all feels so meaningful because you know it's a permanent piece of your account's history. You're not just rushing to some endgame that's going to be obsolete in a few months. You are slowly, deliberately building a legacy.
But, you know, that grind isn't just one size fits all. The time it takes can be wildly different depending on what you're doing. I mean, if you've got the in-game money, you can max out some skills in just a handful of hours.
For other skills, though, you face this really interesting choice between speed and profit. This gives you complete freedom in how you want to build your account. Do you want the absolute fastest experience, even if it costs you money? Or do you take a slower path that actually makes you rich in the game? The choice is totally yours.
Now, you might be thinking that infamous grind sounds pretty brutal to do all by yourself. Well, here's the thing. Players aren't doing it alone. The community has actually built its own secret weapon to make the whole journey way more manageable.
And that weapon is called RuneLite. It's a third-party game client that is absolutely packed with incredible quality of life tools, all made by players for players. At this point, it's pretty much an essential part of the OSRS experience.
And these tools are just game changers. I mean, look at this. A tedious process like getting geared up for a boss fight, which used to take all these different clicks and searches, is now just one single button press. This stuff saves you countless hours over the long haul. It completely transforms the game, and it's all thanks to the community.
Okay, so a rewarding game, a passionate community, it all sounds great, right? But there's a dark side, a really big one. Underneath this whole vibrant world, there's a massive industrial-scale shadow economy at play. Yeah, we're talking about bot farms. These are huge networks of automated accounts that just run 24/7, completely warping the game and the economy for everyone else.
And the scale of this it's just staggering. Player and YouTuber investigations have found single bot farms pulling in billions of in-game gold every single day. That floods the market and completely devalues the hard work of actual, real players.
And let's be super clear, this is not a victimless crime. It tanks the value of things that real players spend hours getting. It clogs up high-level training spots, and it fuels this whole block market where that botted gold gets sold for actual, real-world cash. The time you spend earning something is instantly undermined by a robot that can do it infinitely faster.
This is where the story takes a really, really dangerous turn. What do you think happens when legitimate players decide they've had enough and they try to fight back against these bot farms?
I mean, think about it. It seems pretty simple, right? You kill a bot in a player versus player zone, you get its loot, and that bot is out of the game. That's how it should work. But that's not what's happening. Not at all.
A really shocking investigation brought this to light. Bot developers have actually programmed their bots to automatically spam false reports against any player who kills them. They have literally weaponized the game's own reporting system.
And this creates an absolute nightmare scenario. The game's automated ban system gets flooded with all these fake reports, and it ends up banning the legitimate player for botting. And the worst part? Their appeal is instantly denied by the system, no human ever sees it, and years of progress can just be wiped out in an instant.
The horrifying result of all this is that real players are just becoming collateral damage in what is essentially a war between rival bot farms.
The very system that's supposed to protect the game is now being used as a weapon against the good guys.
So all of this leaves Old School RuneScape in this incredibly bizarre and precarious spot. It's a true paradox for anyone who plays it. On the one hand, you have this uniquely satisfying game where your effort truly matters. But on the other hand, you've got this deep, fundamental crisis where the systems meant to protect you can actually be turned against you.
And this isn't just some hypothetical worry. It is a very real fear that some of the game's most loyal, long-term players are feeling. I mean, when you've put thousands of hours into something, the thought of losing it all to a broken system is just terrifying. And that really is the ultimate question that Old School RuneScape is facing right now. It's a game that is more popular than it has been in years, yet at the same exact time, it's grappling with a crisis of trust that could shake the very foundation of what makes it so special.